Some games don't just entertain you, they quietly take over because you just start them out of curiosity, and before long you're fully pulled into their worlds, systems, and stories. These are the games that don't rush you, but keep you around with depth, atmosphere, and that steady urge to see what's next. Here are 15 games that will draw you in and keep you there whether you notice it happening or not. Let's kick things off with the game that's basically the gold standard for RPGs, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. You step into the boots of Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter with sarcasm as sharp as his silver sword. And trust me, this game will take over your life. The world is massive and stunning, full of side quests that feel more fleshed out than most full games. You'll find yourself going, okay, just one more contract, and then 5 hours pass. Whether you're chasing down beasts, flirting with sorceresses, or just playing Gwent in a dingy tavern, there's always something pulling you in. Even the expansions, Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, are like entire games on their own. This is the kind of game that makes you cancel plans, forget what sunlight looks like, and happily live in a fantasy world where moral choices haunt you. And honestly, totally worth it. Now, Assassin's Creed Odyssey isn't just a game, it's an ancient Greek vacation that somehow never ends. You play as either Alexios or Cassandra, a mercenary with a mysterious bloodline, and you're dropped into a sprawling world of myth, war, and a whole lot of question marks on the map. This game is huge, like overwhelming huge. You'll think you're progressing the story, then get distracted by a fort, then a treasure, then a cultist you've been hunting for 10 hours, and suddenly it's 3 a.m. It's the kind of game that gives you 100 things to do at once and somehow makes each one feel important. And don't even get me started on the naval combat, the romance options, and the endless loot grind. It's not perfect, but man, if you want a game that devours your time and makes you feel like a Spartan badass, this one's it. Next, we have Cyberpunk 2077. The game that went from meme-worthy launch to one of the most immersive open-world RPGs you can play today. Set in the dense, neon-soaked streets of Night City, you play as V, a merc trying to climb the ranks of a chaotic society where chrome and corruption go hand in hand. What makes this game such a time sink isn't just the main story, which is emotional and packed with twists. It's the sheer vibe of the world. You'll spend hours just walking around, listening to conversations, exploring back alleys, and doing odd jobs that spiral into deep, personal stories. With every update and expansion, it's become a tighter, more polished experience. And let's be real, customizing your cyberware, getting wrapped up in corpo drama, or hanging out with Johnny Silverhand, Keanu Reeves, is just plain addicting. Once Night City gets its hooks in you, good luck getting out. Days Gone is one of those slow burn games that really sneaks up on you. You start off riding around the post-apocalyptic Pacific Northwest as Deacon St. John, an ex-biker surviving in a world overrun by freakers, basically zombies on a lot of energy drinks. At first it feels like your typical open-world survival game, but the more time you put in, the more it grips you. It's not just the endless supply of camps to help, hordes to clear, or upgrades to hunt down. It's the emotional weight of Deacon's story that hits hard. You grow attached to him, his bike, his friends, and the little bits of hope they're all clinging to. Plus, those freaker hordes, terrifying. Taking one down is like solving a real-time puzzle with your life on the line. It may not be as polished as some AAA giants, but if you give it time, Days Gone will absolutely steal your heart and your weekends.
You're not gonna tell me?
Now this one caught me by surprise. Dead Island 2 is just pure chaotic fun. It drops the serious tone of most zombie games and leans hard into the absurd. You're stuck in a quarantined Los Angeles, sorry, Hell A, and every inch of it is oozing with style, satire, and, well, blood. Combat is the star here. It's brutal, gory, and surprisingly strategic. You'll lose hours just trying out different weapon combos, electrocuting zombies in swimming pools, or lighting them on fire with jury-rigged flamethrowers. And the humor? It's dark, self-aware, and oddly refreshing in a genre that usually takes itself too seriously. The game doesn't ask you to think too hard, just to bash some heads in and have a blast doing it. It's not a 100-hour epic like some others on this list, but once you're in the flow of it, it's ridiculously easy to lose track of time. Alright, if you've got a soft spot for pain and exploration, Elden Ring is going to own your life. From Software took their classic brutal combat and tossed it into a massive open world that practically dares you to get lost in it. You'll ride across vast fields, stumble into caves, and fight creatures so weird and horrifying they look like someone's sleep paralysis demon. And the best part? The game tells you nothing. No quest markers, no hand-holding. You figure things out by dying, trying again, and piecing it all together. But that's what makes it so absorbing. Every boss fight feels like an event, every new area feels earned. It's beautiful, haunting, and endlessly mysterious. You might log on just to explore a zone, then suddenly it's 4 hours later and you're still trying to beat that one boss who keeps stomping you into the ground. It's frustrating, rewarding, and completely addictive. Once Elden Ring gets its hooks in, there's no going back. If you're into explosive chaos, unforgettable villains, and causing mayhem with a pet crocodile, then Far Cry 6 will gladly eat up your free time. You play as Danny Rojas, a guerrilla fighter trying to take down a dictator played by none other than Giancarlo Esposito. And yes, he's just as intense as you'd expect. The game's open world, Yara, is huge, vibrant, and packed with activities. You can go from stealthily clearing enemy outposts to hijacking tanks or unleashing your pet rooster in combat. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's kind of what makes it so much fun. There's always something going on. Missions, treasure hunts, crafting weapons out of junk, and before you know it, you've spent 5 hours liberating a region that wasn't even part of your plan. Far Cry 6 may not reinvent the wheel, but it gives you a full sandbox of chaos, and honestly, that's more than enough to lose yourself in. If you thought Final Fantasy VII Remake was big, Rebirth says, hold my Buster Sword. This game cranks the scale up to 11. It takes Cloud and the gang out of Midgar and throws them into a wide, vibrant world full of new locations, deep character moments, and battles that are flashy in all the right ways. And the story? Oh man, it's packed with emotional punches and mind-bending twists that'll keep you glued to the screen. You'll start off thinking, I'll just get through this chapter, then get caught up in a mini-game, side quest, or optional boss fight that spirals into something totally unexpected. The visuals are stunning, the music is pure nostalgia, and the blend of real-time and tactical combat is as slick as ever. If you're a JRPG fan, or even if you're not, Rebirth is one of those games that demands your time and pays you back in emotional gut punches and unforgettable moments.
Go on!
Allow me.
Ghost of Tsushima is the kind of game that grabs you with its beauty, then keeps you playing with its satisfying gameplay and emotional storytelling. You play as Jin Sakai, a samurai torn between tradition and survival during the Mongol invasion of Japan. And from the very first sword duel under a tree of falling leaves, you know you're in for something special. The open world is drop-dead gorgeous. Fields of flowers, golden forests, wind guiding your path. It's like playing through a samurai film. But it's not just eye candy. The combat is tight, the stealth is slick, and the story? Surprisingly heartfelt. Every time you think, I'll stop after this quest, something new pulls you back in. Maybe it's a duel, a mythic tale, or just discovering a fox shrine. It respects your time while also convincing you to spend all of it. Few games make you feel this immersed, this connected, and this stylish while slicing through bandits. Whether you grew up with Harry Potter or just love a good magical adventure, Hogwarts Legacy is a dream come true, and a serious time thief. You create your own witch or wizard and explore a living, breathing version of Hogwarts that's packed with secrets, side quests, and magical creatures. The level of detail here is insane, from the moving staircases to hidden rooms behind tapestries. And the world outside the castle is just as expansive. You've got broom travel, spell combat, potion brewing, and even beast taming. Honestly, it's easy to get lost for hours just flying around or attending classes you don't have to go to. The main story is solid, but it's the freedom to explore and live your wizard fantasy that makes it so addicting. You'll start by learning a new spell, then end up battling dark wizards in a haunted forest 3 hours later. It's pure magic. And once it casts its spell on you, good luck breaking free.
Hard to pin down. Sharp magic, eh? Careful, this one makes a punch. Can't petrify us.
When you think open world game with robot dinosaurs, it sounds cool, but playing Horizon Zero Dawn is something else entirely. You step into the boots of Aloy, an outcast in a tribal future where civilization has collapsed and massive machines roam the land. The The world is a gorgeous mix of nature and technology, and every corner invites exploration. You start off fighting smaller machines, then suddenly you're taking down giant thunderjaws with tripwires and arrows like a true hunter. The story unravels in a really satisfying way too. What happened to the old world, how Aloy fits into it, and why these machines even exist. There are side quests, collectibles, cauldrons to conquer, and beautiful biomes to get lost in. It's one of those games where you'll tell yourself just one more quest, and then find yourself tracking a metal bird across the map for 2 hours. Horizon doesn't rush you, it pulls you in gently and keeps you hooked with every step. If the first Kingdom Come stole dozens of hours with its grounded realism, get ready. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 looks like it's going to demand even more. Set in medieval Bohemia, this sequel continues Henry's story with more depth, more danger, and a world that's even richer than before. What makes this series so different is how real it feels. No dragons or magic, just muddy roads, brutal sword fights, political drama, and trying to read books because your character is actually illiterate. The sequel promises a map twice as big, improved combat mechanics, and even more historically accurate details, meaning you're likely to lose hours just trying to get from one town to the next. This isn't a sprint, it's a full-on medieval life sim with consequences, and that's what makes it so immersive. If it's anything like the original, you'll spend your time repairing armor, making shady decisions, getting drunk in taverns, and loving every second of it. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 isn't just a great superhero game, it's a great game, period. Swinging through New York as both Peter Parker and Miles Morales feels smoother than ever, and the world is packed with details, side quests, and villain showdowns that beg for your attention. One minute you're helping out a local citizen, the next you're battling Sandman in a full-on cinematic fight that feels like a movie. The city itself is bigger and more alive, with even more hidden secrets tucked into alleyways and rooftops. The story is emotional and personal, but also delivers those huge superhero moments you crave. And switching between Pete and Miles isn't just a gimmick, it adds depth to gameplay and narrative. Before you know it, you'll be spending hours unlocking new suits, tracking collectibles, and web-slinging just for the fun of it. It's pure superhero escapism, and once you jump in, you'll never want to come down. Metal Gear Solid 5 is what happens when stealth gameplay, tactical freedom, and Kojima weirdness collide in the best way possible. You play as Big Boss, building up your private army and taking on missions in massive open maps that let you approach objectives however you want. Go loud, go silent, or use a balloon to extract a tank mid-mission. The freedom is wild. You'll spend hours just scouting enemy bases, syncing your gear, and deciding how to strike. But it's not just the gameplay that hooks you, it's the depth. You manage Mother Base, recruit soldiers, develop weapons, and even research Fulton upgrades so you can steal everything. It's a stealth sandbox that's weirdly addictive, and every mission turns into its own little story. And yeah, the plot gets strange. Kojima never disappoints in that department, but that just adds to the charm. It's a game you don't just play, you live in for dozens of hours. Few games manage to pull you into their world like Red Dead Redemption 2. From the moment you step into Arthur Morgan's boots, everything slows down, in a good way. You're not just playing a cowboy, you are one. You'll hunt animals, brush your horse, play poker, fish, rob trains, and sit around a campfire having deep talks with your gang. The world is massive, stunning, and packed with tiny details that make it feel alive. Towns have their own stories, strangers offer side quests that spiral into emotional moments, and the main storyline? It's a heartbreaking masterpiece. Rockstar built this world to be savored, and that's why it steals so much time. You'll ride out just to complete one mission and end up exploring the wilderness for hours, forgetting why you even set out. It's one of the most immersive, emotional, and richly detailed games ever made. If you let it, RDR2 won't just take your hours, it'll take your heart too.
The rest of us. No. But I tried. In the end, I did. Come on. Let's go. We can make it.
All right, so not every game grabs you with action right away. Some take their time, build a world around you, and let you settle into it. These are the kinds of games that don't just fill the hours, they make them feel well spent. If any of them stood out to you, they're probably worth diving into. See you in the next one.
Ugh.